Kenyans of what is legitimately in their interest. Because let me ask, one of the things that we used to talk about and we used to say, when you have a situation, if you go into our informal settlements and you go into a lot of these other areas, why do you have such tension? Why do you have such poverty? Then you get and you find out, because it is both about representation, but it is also about resources. Because when we introduced CDF, we also touched to the constituency. So when you have an honorable member of parliament receiving 100 million shillings and another one receiving 100 million shillings, one is distributing 100 million shillings to 50,000 people. Another is distributing 100 million shillings to 1 million people. Is that equity? Is that child in Mathare or Kibera, will he ever have an opportunity ever of going to university if the highest bursary he can ever receive is 5,000 shillings? And we said, if we don't deal with some of these issues, people will consistently feel pent up. And that is why we said, let us actually focus ourselves on this. Let us do it. It was not about who was going to be president, who was not going to be president. How many times have I told you people, I am very grateful to the Almighty God and the people of Kenya for the opportunity they've given me. I am more than happy to serve out my term and finish my program. But I also believe that this is part of my agenda, to be able to bring people together and to be able to ensure that we have a peaceful, stable, united country. And that is why I was very keen on this. Unfortunately, the courts have ruled the way they have ruled, and I believe that they have been highly misguided in that process. Unfortunately, we have had politicians, like I'm saying, for short-term political gains, who have deviated from why we wanted the BBI to it being an issue of competition. And I don't know why, because all of these people, I mean, I was hearing some people say, this BBI is to propel Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga declared his presidency with or without BBI. And he's still on the ticket. BBI has nothing to do with his candidacy. BBI has nothing to do with Uhuru wanting to continue, because there is no clause in BBI that says that the incumbent president is going to continue for another 10 years. There is no clause. This is all propaganda and hype that is built around to poison the people's minds and to deviate them from looking at the real facts. Because at the end of the day, who are the people who suffer when we have these political problems? It is not the elite, it is the masses. Who are the people who are denied resources when we don't deal with these issues of inequity? It is the people, not the elite. But somehow now, you will now want to blame poverty on that class as opposed to that class. Instead of dealing with the fundamental root cause of the problem, which is providing resources, giving opportunities to every Kenyan equally and fairly, you want to now make it an us versus them because it's an easy campaign platform, right? To propel an individual to victory as opposed to dealing with the underlying problem facing a nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is it is unfortunate. I am a person who has always respected the rule of law. I always told you, and even when they said, Uko, that we are going to take, I said, when I was vying for my very first time, that regardless of whether I'm chosen by or elected or not elected, I will still obey the International Criminal Court. I don't speak what I don't mean. You have seen, I proved myself. I was elected, and I still appeared because I believe in the rule of law. When they went out and they said my election was null and void, I accepted, moved on. And even this one, I will accept and move on. I don't agree with it because I believe we have denied Kenyans their resources. We have denied Kenyans equity. We have denied funds to go mashinani through the ward fund, which to me is actually a much more equitable way of ensuring mtoto wa mashinani ameweza kupata elimu ya university kuliko CDF. All right? So this is what Kenyans have lost. I, Uhuru, have not lost anything. Just the the feeling of sadness that we could actually, for political reasons, deny our own people something that would have not only improved their lives and livelihoods, but made Kenya that much more a cohesive society. So in terms of where do we go from here, well, I'm not the only proponent of these changes. I will not give up. I always believe that one must fight for those things that he believes in. Whether in office or out of office, I will continue to fight and advocate for those things that I believe in.